My friends, welcome to me, your host, Christian Watson. So, my friends, I typically don't do this kind of content on my video, although I suppose this is a form of a reaction video, I guess. But I figured since I just received a very big and hearty influx of subscribers from the recent critical race theory debate that took place on Gothix's channel, and for those of you who are unaware of that debate, there will be links in the description and the comment section below. And I would encourage you, if you have not watched the debate yet, to stop this video and then go watch the debate, or go watch part of the debate or snippets of the debate, however you want to consume that absolute train wreck, which we'll get to in a moment. Please feel free to go ahead and do that before, so you can have context to what I'm about to say. So let me thank you all for being here. Let me also say that as someone whose intellectual journey started in the fires of collegiate debate, in the fires of that passionate art form of human interaction, which, in my opinion, is supposed to get to the core of the truth, is supposed to understand the depths of something. As someone who began in that tradition, and as someone who is inspired by folks who also carry that tradition throughout the Western canon, people like William F. Buckley, and people like Christopher Hitchens, and not saying that I agree with those two men on everything, but saying that those are two exemplars of the principle of public discussion in the public space to help cultivate knowledge, to help round the man down, as the ancient Greeks thought was proper if you're going to get into education, to help round us out and make us sort of full with a variety of concepts. As someone who is in that kind of position, who is in that kind of tradition, I was thoroughly disappointed with how things went. And you know, a lot of people after the debate are coming from so many different places and hitting me from so many different angles, and hitting Gothix from so many different angles, hitting Karlyn from so many different angles. It's just, to me, it's just really concerning, because I think that a lot of people are evaluating the debate as a matter of losing or winning. But I didn't go into this conversation thinking about losing or winning. I went into this conversation thinking about, okay, how can we get to the truth about critical race theory? Can we actually establish a definition of critical race theory so that we can understand it, and we can understand its impacts on Black individuals? We can understand how it interacts with conceptual and moral systems that are necessary, in my opinion, to the continuation of life, to living justly. Can we actually get to a place where we understand that? But unfortunately, a good 90 minutes of the debate was consisted of deflections, of invective, of very impassioned discussions, of insults, all kind of things that, in my opinion, detracted from the actual goal of the debate. And while the debate was happening, my two opponents, Sam and Aaron, both of them were flooding Twitter with catnip for their audience. They were all attacking Gothix, Karlyn, and I, and they were doing so to make their audience engagement go up, to make their sort of dopamine levels rise, although I assume they're doing it because of this reason. Now, I don't really know. I'm speculating at this point, because I just can't be bothered to think too hard right now. And even before the debate began, they were saying, oh yes, well, this person said this, Gothix said this, and I can't wait to hold them to task on this. Oh, they're being conspiratorial, or they're driving fear. They were doing so many things on Twitter that were absolutely, in my opinion, disgraceful and dishonorable. But even though they were doing so many things on Twitter that were disgraceful and dishonorable, I thought it would be appropriate to give them a chance, because guess what? I try to be an optimistic person, and I try to believe in the goodness of people. I try to believe in a human's innate capacity to reason their way out of their own ignorance. I try to believe that. So this debate was an experiment in many things. And let me just say, I am responsible for this debate. I forged this debate. I am the architect of this debate. I chose the moderator. I chose the structure. I chose the style. And there were many things I did with this debate that were not necessarily wise. There are many things. And of course, there were many things apparently that I did that was wrong. I preached too much, apparently. I was long-winded, apparently. These are really critiques that I couldn't really care less about. But everyone, in the process of intellection, you have to absorb these things, understand these things, observe these things, and see how much they match up to reality. And reality was an element that was missing from that debate, in my opinion. The problem in contemporary intellectual circles and in contemporary political discussion in America is that so many people are antagonistic towards each other. And that antagonism does not breed a willingness to collaborate. From the get-go, I was already branded all kind of names, an unlegitimate thinker, all kind of names. And since the debate has actually ended, Gothix and Karlyn and I, well, maybe more me and Gothix, because Karlyn was very much not really, has blocked a lot of people, were enduring a lot of social media abuse. Our two opponents went around, particularly Sam, went around and they began calling Gothix a discount, or not a discount, but a Candace Owens, because she said that she's a human and she doesn't want to be classified as a black or a woman. They began calling me all kind of names. There are people who are responses are sitting in my Twitter inbox and put it in my Twitter notifications who are saying, I wrote this 15 tweet response to your argument and you can't respond, you're an intellectual. One guy who said, oh, you're an insult to black intellectuals. All this stuff, guys. And this should teach you one thing. Don't engage with people who are not going to engage you with respect. Don't engage with people who are simply using a particular event, an event that is supposed to be an occurrence of epistemic humility, to bolster their own fragile egos, entrench themselves deeper in their worldview, and never actually interact with you but speak past you for the purpose of, again, raising their social currency. You have to understand this. You have to identify this. And don't allow yourself to be pigeonholed by the idea that if you don't debate certain people, you're not being brave. As I mentioned before, my friends, no one has the right to your energy. Your energy should never be used to soothe the ears of fools, as they so delicately say. It should just never be used like that. I do intend to do more debates as time persists. I do intend to engage in intellectual combat, hopefully with more serious people. But it's time for me to detox. You know, this is my first time receiving this sort of deluge of feedback, negative feedback. And it's a really interesting study in how some human beings really view other human beings. We have this approximation of who someone is, then we fill this approximation with all of these ideas, and we act as if someone are those ideas. But in all reality, on social media and the internet, you only get a very coarse sliver of who people are. So I just wanted to address this really quick. I have no regrets entirely. There are things I could have done better, but I have no regrets entirely. I certainly do wish that my opponents had not been so boorish and belligerent in their attempts to bolster their own egos and bolster their own profile. And I certainly would hope that there are other critical race theory people out there who actually want to have a serious and respectful conversation and who do not want to try to blame me for not policing someone's actions or whatever. I just hope that as the future persists, more serious people come out of the woodwork to discuss these issues, because guess what? The future of our civilization depends on our ability to express ourselves. If we cannot express ourselves in a free manner and an effective manner, life becomes damn near impossible. Think on it. Guys, I love you so much. I'll be back Monday. I'm tired. I'm going to rest. But if you want to support me, patreon.com, Official C. Watson, locals, PayPal, all that good stuff. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Stay pensive. Bye.